What's good, everyone? It's Zach, and welcome back to Grailbound Gaming. It has been so much fun being able to go out into the wild and video game hunt and add those games to my personal collection. And since the start of this channel, I've been able to record a few of my journeys doing that, all the way back since December of 2023. And here we are a year later in December of 2024. So in this video, I'm going to share my top 10 finds from video game hunting over the past year. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so the very first game is American McGee Presents Scrapland for the OG Xbox. If you are not familiar with who American McGee is, he is a well-known game designer. He's worked on games such as Doom and Quake, and even more notably, the Alice games, which included American McGee's Alice as well as Alice Madness Returns. So if you're familiar with those games, this is the guy, this is the mind and creator behind those games and its development. And he ended up making a game called Scrapland that pretty much takes place in this like huge metropolis, right? This very large city filled with robots. And this is like an open world action adventure game that you can play on the OG Xbox. This game is available for the PC. There's like a remastered version for the PC, but the only way to play on the home console is for the OG Xbox. And this game had been on my list for a couple years, and I was very lucky to find it at one of my local retro video game stores. All right, next up is Blaster Master for the NES. I really like exploration type style games, especially those that are futuristic. And this game just really appealed to me when I saw reviews on it, when I looked at commentary about the development of the game. It just really intrigued me. And what I like about this game a lot is the fact that you can get out of your vehicle that you operate through the different levels, and you can actually explore on foot, explore different areas of the level on foot, which I think is really cool. I was able to find this at a thrift store like an hour away from where I live, and yeah, happy to be able to add it to the collection. If you saw that in one of my other pickup videos, I was able to pick up a novel, like a paperback novel that goes into the storyline of the game. So my plan is to read the novel and then make sure that I play the game. But yeah, happy to be able to have found this in the wild for sure. All right, the next game is 007 Bloodstone. I found this at a GameStop for $15. The only other time that I found this game out in the wild was at like another local retro video game store. They had it for $20, so GameStop just had a better deal. And this is the last game that I needed in order to complete having all of the 007 games for the PS3. And man, as soon as I saw it, I grabbed it, made sure that there was a manual with it, and yeah, happy to have this. So the reason why it's on this list is because it was the very last 007 game that I needed for the PS3. All right, next up is Little Nightmares for the PS4. I found this at a Cash America pawn shop. I had been wanting to track this game down for quite a while, and the reason is because I actually have the second game. I ended up buying the second game before buying the first game, and yeah, was able to get it for a really great price at the pawn shop. And it not only includes the game, but it also includes the original soundtrack that's there. So yeah, I'm definitely happy to have found this in the wild as well. All right, the next game I ended up getting from a collectible shop with like sports memorabilia, video games, and even toys. And that game is The Bouncer for the PS2. This is a launch title for the PS2. It's been on my list for some years as well. And I could have easily bought it off of eBay, but most of the listings that I saw at the time did not include the manual. And in my opinion, I found that to be pretty notorious with this game, is the fact that you would not find it complete. So when I went to that collectible shop and found it complete, I definitely had to get it and add it to the collection. So happy about that. All right, next game is a Wii game, and it is Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. Shout out to all the DBZ fans out there. This is a really cool side-scrolling action adventure or even beat 'em up type style game for the Wii. Very unique. I believe it goes for like $45 to $50 in value, and I was able to find this at a value pawn and jewelry pawn shop for like $2, which is a steal, which is awesome. And I ended up not only buying this game, but also buying a handful of other Wii games, and this happened to be in it. So I was happy to get a great deal. Shout out to that employee that made this happen to where I can add this game complete to my collection. Okay, so the next game is Transformers War for Cybertron. I found this at a Cash America pawn shop, and yeah, at the time I was definitely wanting to collect all of the Transformers games for the Xbox 360, and I was able to get this game, I believe, for like $30, and as of today I think it goes anywhere from like $70 to $80. So I was able to find it I believe before the Xbox 360 store closed, and I'm definitely happy to have this in the collection. All right, next up is a game that I found at Goodwill for very cheap, and it's a GameCube game, and that game is Mario Party 6. Now, no, this is not a complete game. It doesn't include the manual, but the disc is in great condition, and as you can see, I have that Goodwill sticker right there for $4. This was probably one of the craziest finds while game hunting over the past year. I don't really get as lucky with video game hunting at Goodwill, you know, due to the fact that they take a lot of their games and post those games to their auction site. But I got really lucky the day that I went to Goodwill and was able to score this for the GameCube, so that's a win. Okay, so the second to last game that I wanted to talk about is a game that I ended up getting in a lot of free games. I saw a listing on Facebook Marketplace, and I messaged the seller, and they said, hey, yeah, these games are free. You can meet with me to come pick them up now. So I headed out at night, mind you, to go and pick up a lot of games, and this game happened to be in there. It was sealed. I didn't know at the time until I actually saw the game physically in person, and that game is Halo 3 for the Xbox 360. This is like a special edition for Halo that I believe came with like the Legendary Collector's Edition for the game. So that's why, you know, rather than having, you know, the normal standard green case, it's like a black case and it's completely sealed. And yeah, definitely happy to have found this. And yeah, it's staying in the collection for sure. All right, so before I reveal my top find from video game hunting over the past year, there are a handful of honorable mentions that I do want to go through, with the first being a Wii game called Ocean Commander. Now, I gotta be real with you all. There are a lot of people who talk a lot of trash about the Wii. They say that the Wii is filled pretty much with a bunch of filler titles, and that is honestly not true at all. There's a lot of great hidden gems. I don't even like using the word hidden gems. I'm gonna probably think of another term that I can use in a future video, but there are a lot of really cool gems that you can find for the Wii. And yeah, Ocean Commander is definitely one of those gems. If you enjoy shoot 'em ups, this is the game to get. And what's cool about this game is that the ship that you operate is modeled after a shark, right? So most of the levels take place underwater, which I think is really cool. And you can make upgrades to your ship, whether that's, you know, improving the material of the ship, or even having it to where, you know, whatever weapons you use, you can upgrade those into more powerful weapons. So yeah, it's multi-leveled. There's like a survival mode. You can even face off against a bunch of different bosses. And yeah, I highly recommend that you pick up this game if you are collecting for the Wii, or if you like shoot 'em ups. I rarely see this game out in the wild, but I believe if you go to eBay or Macquarie, you know, one of those websites, you can definitely find this game for cheap. And yeah, I was happy to have found this for $2 at a value and pawn jewelry shop. So yeah, that's the first honorable mention. All right, next up is Super Mario Brothers 2 for the NES. The reason this is an honorable mention is because at the time I had the first game and the third game, and there's a lot of you know, recognition when it comes to Super Mario Brothers 3. What intrigued me about Super Mario Brothers 2 is the fact that Japanese developers ended up reskinning a game called Doki Doki Panic, with Mario characters because they thought that, you know, Western buyers or customers would not be able to handle the real Super Mario Brothers 2 game. So anyhow, I was able to find this game on Facebook Marketplace. There was a listing that was up with, you know, a few other NES games as well as a zapper gun and 2 original NES controllers. And yeah, I was definitely happy to have found this and glad that it's in my collection. All right, next up is honestly, it's not even a game. It's more like a bonus DVD, and it's for the OG Xbox. And this is the Fable limited edition bonus DVD. This goes behind the development of the game, which I think is awesome. I really like seeing the behind the scenes when it comes to the development of a game. It's very intriguing to see how the developers bring different talents in different departments to work together to produce a work of art in the form of an entertainment media that we call video games, right? So yeah, whenever I saw this at a video game store, retro video game store, I definitely had to pick it up and happy to have it. So yeah, this is the Fable bonus DVD. Awesome. Okay, so next up, I want to show you all a couple of Wii accessories that I consider to be honorable mentions because they are completely brand new and sealed, and I was able to score them in this double console game lot that I found on Facebook Marketplace. So the very first one is the Wii Motion Plus right here, and then the second one is the Wii Remote Plus Wii Motion Plus. So really cool to have found both of those in the lot of consoles and games that I was able to find in that listing, and happy to have those. Now the last honorable mentions are a couple of Wii games. It is a prequel and a sequel, and I'm talking about the Super Mario Galaxy games 1 and 2. Awesome, right? Yeah, I was able to find both of these games at different thrift stores for half the value that they normally go for. So I'm definitely excited to have these games in my collection as well, and can literally just play one and go right into playing the sequel. Happy to have this. If you are looking for, I guess, a more affordable way to play these games, definitely buy them for the Wii and play those, because the 3D Mario All-Stars collection for the Switch is pretty pricey, and I believe it just includes the first Super Mario game. So if you want to play the first 2 games, definitely seek them out for the Wii. Okay, everyone, so now that I've shared those honorable mentions, it is now time to get to the #1 top find from video game hunting over the past year, and that is Pokémon XD Gale of Darkness for the GameCube. I was able to find this in a console bundle deal on Facebook Marketplace that had, you know, a GameCube console, a Wii console, and several games for both. And this happened to be one of the games that I scored. So at the time when I found this game, I thought that it was complete because it had the manual as well as some inserts. But come to find out, there's actually a poster that you can get to with the game, and it doesn't have the poster. But in my opinion, I consider this to be a complete version of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, because people usually sell this online at the complete price without the poster. So yeah, happy to have this in the collection. And just a reminder, it did come with you know, the silver controller here, as well as the spicy orange controller here, and then last but not least, the console itself with an orange Mad Catz memory card. So yeah, that is my top find from video game hunting over the past year. Okay, everyone, so those are my top finds from video game hunting over the past year. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's video as well. Best believe, you know, 2025, there's gonna be a lot of great things happening in the video game industry as well as for the channel. So if you do like this type of content, go on ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, even comment down below what you consider to be my top find from video game hunting. And if you are a new subscriber to the channel or only been watching for a little bit, I am going to create a playlist of all my game hunting videos thus far on the channel. So with that being said, happy holidays to everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Until then, I'm out.